Alright people, okay, I thought I wasn't going to do a video today, but I don't know, there's been a few things that have been kind of flickering around, and I thought that I would explain a little bit more about certain things. So basically, if you look at other videos where I've been explaining this vision that I'd had a while ago about all these interlinked pieces of the mind and how we all work and everything else like that, I've kind of got notes, so I'm kind of looking at them and what to talk about. But it basically, it all revolves around now, exactly what's happening now. So, an explanation through that. So the processes of these links and old memories and past and everything that all trigger off one another. So, when you go through certain processes in life and you've started to strip away, you know, when I'd said about saying, okay, you put your link together like that and you'd say something bad, illegal drugs, you know, and your subconscious memory will clench down and not allow you to release the link, you know. So when you do the opposite and you do that and you say lettuce, for instance, you know, you won't clench down because you know it's good. When you clench down, you know it's really not. Okay, so all the not, all the no's and the don'ts, they're the ones that have been forming this belief in reality now, and why people find themselves in certain situations that life brings up. Okay, so how do we get out of them? Is really the kind of avenue that I'm going down at the moment. But before I get to that, probably in other videos, it's kind of all relating again to cycles and creating, you know, now once processes have been done and you've worked on yourself and things happen in life and you figure them out, you know, and old feelings or old emotions or new feelings or new emotions can then start to form. Okay, that's when you know that the progression of your own vibration is working, because you start to feel better. You know, you have certain time, like I said before, you have time heal or whatever it is, you know, you have that, and then you start to become you again. The karma's cleared, you start to see things more clearly, and you can see your own path maybe then on the way forward. Okay, so let's skip forward now into the future. Okay, and you've done all this kind of work and this is happening. So relating it to the whole point of this blog, which is about me, which is to help you, is to talk about me. So on another blog I'm going to explain a bit about friendships and stuff like that, and things that are probably going on in my environment at the moment that are they don't portray themselves to be helping me, especially not from them, but from me it is helping me, because it's really helping me discover me, you know, what it is that the vibration that I'm raising out now, that are just not attracting that kind of clientele of people anymore. But that's not a dig at anyone, that's just a personal growth thing that people do generally go through. Okay, but I'm not going to hit on that at the moment. So for instance, we'll take this blog. Okay, when I first started it, I called it Becoming the Change. It was going to be a tattoo that I was going to have. I don't know why, I just came up with the kind of idea and thought that it would sound good. Okay, then I later on discovered that, wow, that sounds like, you know, making a change for things. And you know, I started to get an idea of it, and that was when I started to realise that I was clairvoyant, and these things that were being told me were actually clairvoyant messages. Okay, but that's way back, and I'm not going to hit on the spiritual side of things anymore at the moment. But so I created Becoming the Change, and I started making it, and it wasn't until later on that I realised that it was a woman's cycle, and it was like another cycle, and it was birth and rebirth and the progression of life. You know, again, another cycle that I've been explaining in the past blogs. But so now I've created my karmic walk, which is the north and south node of an astrological chart, which I can't remember if I've released it now, I can't remember what I've done, but you strip away past karma as you walk it. So you grow and learn, not to make that one, okay, I might go back to that one, and that, and then I'll know how to, there's loads of different avenues that can take, but on a personal level, I started to realise things, and kind of went down that avenue that I was actually living my karmic walk now from an also past life as well, where I've done this before, and that's why I'm guided to do it again now. But because of conditioning, of being born and the belief of the Matrix, and I'm going absolutely goosebumps all over me now, of the Matrix. I know the Matrix film is kind of like it's a film, and it's also the television, okay, but it's so true, because we are conformed by so many other people's way of living and what is right and what is wrong, because of blueprints of becoming our parents, because they raise us. And it goes back to it's not a glass, but I'll explain this again, because I'm going to actually do videos of past blogs about the hand that rocks the cup of emotion. And when it rocks, you have an overspill of emotion if that was filled with water or coffee. But these beginning progression parts, when you shake them, they don't move really. If it was a clear glass, you don't see the move, you only see the top move. Okay, and this is us when we're young, and this is our parents. But we are also that as well if you are a parent, or will be. So that is your parents, that is your parents, that is you, that is you. They're both you. We are all one. Okay. So, well, again I've gone off tangent. So let me go back into the reason why I was going to make this blog. Is to now I've stripped away all this karma, not completely stripped it away, but basically kind of understanding more about me now as a person, needs and wants and everything else, and understanding that a lot of things that are happening in my environment that I now can stand up for, because people don't vibrate on your level anymore. They don't always want what you want, or they will learn through you teaching them that they perhaps do. Through friendships, if they do certain things that you don't agree with, but you just kind of flow along with it, because you're not really being you, you're just kind of being them, because you don't want to be alone and you just want to fit in, right? That can go off on other avenues, but friendships, you do it because it's just, they're friends. But are they really? Or, or are you them? Or are you trying to be them? Or are they trying to be you? Or, it's a whole process of discovering that really what counts is you being you, in here. Because a lot of people through life will always say, well, I don't like the top you're wearing, or I don't like this, or you was fat and you were thin, or that is a projection from when we're young. When we're young, people are bullied in more ways than you actually know. They're not always bullied by physical force. They're bullied by the mind, because they're believing what their parents have taught their child, that their child are now projecting onto another child, that projects it onto another, that then gives it to their parents. They form anger, they have a go at their parents, their child, and it branches off into vast amounts of created energy that the world itself holds. It holds us inside it. Okay, we create the world. The world was created, that I won't go into, but it was created. But we create it. We live inside it and we create it ourselves. Okay. So basically, going back again, but it's now through fighting fear and things that happen in my environment, and knowing your right path, and these all interlinked pieces that are all hold emotions and memories in the mind. When you start stripping them back and making choices and decisions and options that will always come up in life, they always will, and you will never be perfect. No one will. But you will have a clearer mindset. You know, you will see more clearly. So when you do, you can start to make rational decisions for yourself. So when they come up, you'll know how to deal with them, right? Okay, that's growth and learning. That's just, you know, I call it growth and learning, but that's basically how you would look at it. It's just life, you know. You go through it, you become an adult, and you start to learn. You know, that's the element, okay? So through this, now I discovered that I used to really like writing, and it was, you know, purging out, and like I've explained in the last one, that was part of it. And I really enjoyed it, but I found it a struggle because I can't spell, you know, because I was a fucking reject at school, you know, not physically bullied, but mentally bullied, and mentally everything else, like every child is, as you go through it. You know, I gave up on life and now discovered that I actually have one. It took me a long time, but I did, you know. So basically now, through this blog and through fighting fear and these link pieces, I was explaining that when you start to strip away, one connects onto the other that form a chain, but a new chain, because you've accomplished one, like losing weight and stuff, or whatever, you know, you accomplish another, you use the same strength from that to do that, and that, and that, and you learn as you go along, and it creates your own cycle of life, okay, because you walk it, which is the karmic walk. You create your own cycle, like the world, and you walk around it like everybody else, but you now, or more of you, the better you, okay? So, my light's going to go up. So now, taking this blog and going back again, because I went off tangent, is now realising that, okay, I loved writing and all that kind of stuff, but you have an epiphany, you think, well, you know, I should try video. First time I came on, my hands were like that, okay? Yeah. Stable, pretty much. It's because the camera's really close, but I can assure you that I'm pretty stable now. You know, that is because I've faced it. Because I've faced the fear of not wanting to be on camera so much or whatever, you know. It's, so now, through facing that, I start to get more visions and more clarity and start to become more comfortable. When you become more comfortable being you, you start to have a clearer vision. And you find that you can actually now confront things more, okay? From the past, from the present, or from the future. But in the future, especially for the future, you know, because you're then you, because you're now you know. But you realise that you are creating it, and the best way to create it is by now these new memories that are going to be made are actually being made by you, not anyone else, through conforming of belief and not getting things and not having things our own way or whatever, because you're you. You can make clear rational decisions now, or more clearly. You know, you'll always make mistakes, granted. So with this blog, I find now that I can now pull memories into my own, to make my own small chain, which started off with writing and started creating the blog. And then I realised that I should probably try videos. And I tried it, and I really enjoy it. And it's a lot more easy than writing a piece of, you know, a piece of a story that people may not read, because not everybody likes reading. They visually, like the Matrix, like to see things. Wow. You know, they like to see it like the television. You know, not saying that this is wrong, because everyone has an option of doing what they want to do, right? But the point is that now I can do this more stable and feel great at doing it. It's a memory now that I can pull into it and add on to a great memory. You create your karmic walk now, but without bad karma, without shit. Shit may come along, but you say, well, I'll take a bit of that shit, and okay, well, I'll, you know, whatever, you know, you make choices and options as you go along it, but you'll be a different person, you know, that will guide you to make better ones within it or without it, or with, you know, with whatever happens, because everyone's life is different. Everyone's circumstance within anything in life will be different. This story can relate to everybody on every level with everything, given anything, because it's a cycle and we live in them. Doesn't matter what you do. Even when I play guitar, it's my way of meditation because it's self-expression. Okay, one chord leads to another chord that creates a cycle. Okay, creates a cycle of self-expression that is a cycle. If you realise that when you listen to music, it can relate so much to what you're going through, because people that have creative ability have vision like this. They have a calling, and through that calling they have an expansion of mind that lets them create poetry that touches people here, because that's where it comes from, not here. It's a creative expression of oneself through their heart, which is why I love talking. It's probably why I can go on for hours, because it's coming from here. It's not, you know, you realise that when I'm talking, I had absolutely no idea pretty much what I was going to say. It was going to be a 2-minute video. It's gone on to nearly a 15, nearly 20-minute video, because it's a channel of openness. It's a way of self-expression. It's a way of purging out. It's a way of how we all communicate with one another through this, or should do, but that also goes back to relation of the karma that you walk within your life, because believe me, you've lived these lives before. Many people have. Not everyone, not all souls have. Some souls are fresh souls, but through my visions and my understanding are a lot stronger now, because of stripping all of my past karma away through this life as well. How I used to be 27 stone, I've lost 12 stone, you know, addiction, everything else. Through stripping all that away, not only does it stop there, but it also goes back when you do all that, and you can. And through the vision that I have, I get to see further back. Not a real lot, you know. I can't tell you that my name was fucking Dave when I was in a previous life. I've got no fucking idea, you know. But you may have a bit more of an understanding of that on a different way of seeing things. Am I finished? What else was I going to talk about? I think I've talked about the friends thing. Not quite as deep as I want to, because that would lead into more of me becoming me and the things that I'm facing. That kind of touches on the subject that I'm going to say about through your environment. A vast. They are things in your environment that teach you about yourselves, friends, anyone. That's why they wear masks. They wear masks in order for you to look at things about yourself. You know, they may be really shit. Say friends, for instance, they can treat you certain ways, but it can make you end up standing up for yourself. If you don't, you just go down with everybody else because you vibrate on their level. You know, you vibrate on their level, and that's why they attract the same kind of people. Because that's what they want to do. They want to drink or do whatever and act out. That's fine. That's, you know, nothing that I'm going to kind of say, well, you shouldn't. You know, if people ask for my guidance, then I'll tell them that I can kind of see their error of a way that they are living, but whether they take the advice or not, it's up to them. But down to me, as what I take from them, is that that's really not me. That's really not me. You know, and you have to stand up for that kind of belief. That's not a belief in God or, you know, spiritual. That's a belief within yourself to realise that I'm now vibrating at another level, and you have the chance to come up with me, or wherever you are, whether you're higher, lower, or the same. It doesn't matter. That's not victimising. It's not, I don't know the word, that's not projecting anything narcissistic onto people. I wouldn't say, well, you shouldn't be fucking doing that. You have the right to do whatever you like. But as an individual, as you are individual people, you live on the vibration that you want to live at. And if it's there and you attract these people and they treat you like shit, then you have a choice to either go down with them, to stay the same and always be the same, or to go onto a different vibration of you. And then they will either come up or they will go down. But they won't be vibrating on your level anymore. That's why you have different kinds of people, because each person teaches you something about yourself. Then you have the free will choice. Stay there, go down or go up. And you can all either go up together or down or fluctuate. That's people. That's why people are different. Okay? So that's a brief kind of, 21 minutes nearly. Okay, so that's another bit of description. The YouTube page is up and running. Everything's monetized, and I need 10,000 views before anything really big starts to happen. Whether that will or whether it won't, I don't know, but I'm really trying to. So if you would follow any link that is in the blog on Facebook, if you would follow it and subscribe and like and share. Okay, all right, thanks very much, and peace.